storm coming down the line. Jake VARR spitting fire in the dying light. Culture clash in a midnight fight. Truth or lies, who's got the spark to ignite? Voices rise in the shadow of the screen. Debates rage, flames in the American dream. Left and right clashing like stormy seas. Reality's burning, what's it gonna be? Protract VO pod tearing through the night. Battle cries echo in the dim spotlight. Words like bullets in the endless fight. Searching for truth in the dark twilight. Politics in the blood, there's no retreat. War of ideas on every damn street. Jake VARR standing tall, won't accept defeat. In the culture war, where ideas meet. Screams in the void, questions echo loud. Who's the puppet, who's the master now? In a world where the truth can be so proud. Voices ring, defiant, breaking through the crowd. Project VO pod tearing through the night. Battle cries echo in the dim spotlight. Words like bullets in the endless fight. Searching for truth in the dark twilight. Streets on fire, shadows loom. Promises broken by the hands of doom. Voices scream desperate pleas. Dark night falls, brings America to its knees. Fight, 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 take back America. Stand tall, strong against hysteria. Fight, 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 bring the light. Shatter the dark, reclaim the night. Face so chaos, feed the beast. Democracy choked while freedom cease. Whisper lies, breathe the storm. Hearts torn apart, as cold as the norm. Fight, 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 take back America. Stand tall, strong against hysteria. Fight, 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 bring the light. Shatter the dark, reclaim the night. Trump returns, armor gleams. Dreams restored, freedom screams from ashen ruins. Rise again, hope reborn, break the chain. Truth unmasked, corruption falls. Voices rise through the endless halls. Victory in the air, liberty song. America wakes where it belongs.
Mainstream blues, twisting the truth, media's game. Trump painted crooked, man, that's a shame. Lies roll like dice in a smoky old hall. Wordplay wild and folks start to fall.
Fake news, they got their stories they spin. Messing with minds, yo, where to begin? Trump's a villain, they scribble and shout. We see the truth, they try to drown out.
Rapist, Nazi, that's their wild card. Spinning tall tales, going way too far. Hit jobs crafted with ink-stained hands. Distorting facts, leaving truth in sand.
Fake news, they got their stories they spin. Messing with minds, yo, where to begin? Trump's a villain, they scribble and shout. We see the truth, they try to drown out. Headlines screaming, but the truth lies hidden. Painting a monster, narratives overridden. Smoke and mirrors in a digital haze, but we're wise to the media's craze. Fake news, they got their stories they spin. Messing with minds, yo, where to begin? Trump's a villain, they scribble and shout. We see the truth, they try to drown out. Headlines screaming, but the truth lies hidden. Painting a monster, narratives overridden. Smoke and mirrors in a digital haze, but we're wise to the media's craze. Fake news, they got their stories they spin. Messing with minds, yo, where to begin? Trump's a villain, they scribble and shout. We see the truth, they try to drown out.
Wires hung beneath the storm. A nation cracks a fight.
Alright, sorry guys. I'm getting everything prepped for the stream. I see you, Ticky Tack, bro. Good to see you in the fucking chat, bro. What's the drama, llamas? What's up, Mike Ball? Good to see you, man. Mike, I hope you've been keeping up with all of the drama between Fatty and I. I might go over some of the drama that Fatty and I have been undergoing. And of course, there was a bigger channel than Fatty that made a video about me, so we'll be covering that as well. What's up, Norami? Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, for sure, Ticky Tack. Okay, good. You listened to it. But yeah, we'll be... I'm not going to go over the debate. I'll do that another day. But I will be opening up the panel, guys. So if anybody wants to jump in, has their opinions, feel free. Feel free.
May God have mercy.
Very soon, very soon. All right. Let's get this fucking show started, guys.
He calls it Dark MAGA.
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm Dark MAGA.
My sole and exclusive mission is to go to work for our country, to go to work for you. It's time to deliver a victory for the American people. We don't win anymore, but we are going to start winning again. Hear these words. You will never be ignored again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
All right, good to see that the chat's active, guys. We are now live. Let's begin the show. A whole lot to kind of go through. As you guys may or may not know, I did go through a little bit of a controversy with a particular streamer that I've worked with multiple times for quite a while. Good guy. Love this show. Still like his show, man. Still like his show. I don't have any fucking real bad blood with Fatty or anything like that, but Fatty has a problem with me. It's all good. If you guys saw last night's interaction that I had with him, you'll know a little bit more into details on that and how it ended with him essentially rage quitting, throwing me off the panel. And then we had fun just watching the aftermath of the cope. That was pretty hilarious. But that was all last night's stream. Really fun. But I'm not here to go into too much details on that. I think I'll do a separate stream for that one. But I am going to talk a little bit about that because I think I have to, right? Everybody, I'm pretty sure some of you, Mike Ball saw it this morning. Tiki Tack probably saw it during the live stream. Saw quite a bit of you on there commenting. It was a wild fucking exchange with Fatty and I, man. That's for sure. But yeah, bro, Fatty got absolutely crushed. Like the argumentations doesn't make any sense. He's going all over the place. But it was a fun exchange. It was definitely fucking hilarious. That's for sure. It was pretty wild. Yeah. Yeah. The show was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. But yeah, I'm going to go over a little bit of Fatty. Fatty did have a stream before we did the debate because I was at, I think he put it at like 7:30 Eastern time. But he did do a morning stream where he told his audience that he'll be interacting with me about the N-word and how I shouldn't say it, how it hurts people's feelings, yeah. You guys were there. Yeah, Fatty was showing his... Yeah, exactly. Really high levels, bro. The black fragility, right? Real black fragility. But yeah, that was my point during this exchange was one word can make black people so absolutely insane to where they'll do violent acts Or in this case, Fatty will just not even interact with me anymore because of my opinion, because I'm stating the factual evidence of black people overreacting to a word. But yeah, he basically proved my point even with that. His reaction about me. You know? But like I said, I like Fatty. I'm not, there's no bad blood on my end. If he wants to reach out and say, hey man, let's fucking collab again, I'll be perfectly okay with that. Perfectly okay with that. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is a little bit, it's like dried up right now. Honestly, it sucks overall that Fatty no longer wants you on his show. Generally like both of you guys. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Right on. I'm not telling anybody to not support Fatty. Go over there and support Fatty, bro. He works hard putting those panels together, and they're always really interesting panels. So yeah, definitely support Fatty, dude. Not a big deal for me. But I definitely enjoy you as well, Mike Ball. You're always you're one of the badass content creators around here, bro. Like, you know what's up, you know. But it is what it is. Keep going with Fatty, because he's definitely making something special on his end over there, you know. He definitely is, and I wouldn't wish any ill will upon him in that way. But anyways, but yeah, we're gonna go over what Fatty had to say. Yeah, fuck yeah, Mike Ball, anytime, dude. Yeah, they're closeted fans, bro. It's literally kind of crazy how much folks are getting triggered over a word they use. Like we use the word fuck. Yeah, dude, it's like in their regular vocabulary. Literally in their regular vocabulary. It's like, whatever, man. Do we finally speak about Ron Jeremy? No. We got some weirdos in the chat too. Don't worry about him. And by the way, any mods on there, don't block Mr. Entertainment. He's really he got real excited for this stream. And he told me beforehand on a comment. So just don't jizz your pants, bro. I know you're excited. Just don't do that. And we're good, all right? But glad to have you in the chat, bro. Anyways, so yeah, I want to go over what Fatty had to say in the morning. I don't have the exact timestamps here, so we'll have to kind of skim through it, because I saw it once when I was at work before the show started. Got home. I got home and I was like, oh, I got to be on stream in like an hour. So I had to prep everything really quick. Hold on, let me share the screen here. This one? Yeah, this one. Okay. So this is Fatty's morning stream that he did the day of. He ended up going 5 fucking hours, man. So this guy doesn't even sleep. He's just like streaming for 5 hours, doesn't sleep. Probably why, maybe his arguments were just bad with lack of sleep. I don't know. But he's got to get some good sleep, and he's got to learn how to debate better and articulate himself on his arguments, because he didn't do a very good job of that, man. Like, chill out on the streaming, get better at going after people's arguments rather than making it a personal deal on things, right? That would be my advice to Fatty. So I get it. He's grinding. That's good. But you also have to do some prep on how to attack and go and run defense on your arguments as well. So I think that's where Fatty really lacks, and it really showed on this last exchange that I had with him. It almost seems like some of the examples you gave, Fatty, he didn't fully understand what you were actually trying to express to him. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't think Fatty understood exactly the premise of where I was going at. Like, even when I gave him an example, like he stated, well, white people go crazy for the word, Nazi, right? I said, okay, well, would you go to a neighborhood and scream that word? Well, what do you think would happen? I don't know. They'll probably just call the cops. And then literally in the beginning of the fucking debate, when, all these haters are saying, well, go and say it in real life. I'm like, no, I wouldn't, because they'll attack me, which is my argument about how they act like savages. And Fatty actually agreed with that example about me going to a neighborhood and saying that. And he was trying to be like, yeah, you wouldn't say it in front of us. I was like, yeah, no shit, because you act like savages, which was my point. So Fatty just caught himself on that towards the end, dude. But that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, dude, do you not see that correlation of my point there? You literally proved my point. But yeah, what's good, Angry Beaver? Good to see you, man. Fatty, what? Okay. Anyways, weirdo in the chat. But yeah, so we're, like I said before, I don't think Fatty fully understood the premise of where I was attacking on the N-word debate stuff, But I mean, it is what it is. He wants to not work with me anymore. That's his thing. But we will be reviewing Fatty's debate on a later day. When we have a little bit more time, because it is Mother's Day. So I know a lot of you guys got to go and spend time with your mama. Totally understand. And I got to do the same thing, right? So we can't go on for like 3-4 hours or anything like that. But I will be opening up the panel after this reaction. And then we'll be getting to the Dark Brandon criticism that also happened this weekend. So we'll be reviewing that. That's going to be like the main event here. But anyways, what do you call it? What's up, Tiki Tac? I know black people like to view themselves as strong. They should learn this outrage from being called names makes them look weak. Yeah, exactly. It does. Really does, man. Angry Snowman, my mom is taking a long derp. Okay, got you, dude. Okay, so Angry Snowman, you got all the time in the world. Totally understandable, bro. Totally understandable. But as you see, it's like, it is what it is, right? People pass away. No use fucking getting upset about it. The truth is the truth. It is what it is. But anyways, so this is what Fatty had to say in the morning. I don't know. Let me see here. Oh yeah, here you go. He reviews it around here. I don't know if he's saying it.
I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing well.
Let's see what Fatty had to
I hope
say
that you guys had
on
a
your
great
boy
week.
Jake.
We are in the weekend now, so it's time to have a little bit of fun. And I have to go to the barber. This is not looking. It's not. Yeah, I have to go to the barber. Friends of friends. It's 1 p.m. here. It's lunchtime.
1
So,
p.m.
I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys once again are doing well. I don't know why I'm here, to be honest. I had to put this show somewhere. So I'm just doing it just so I can get some reps, because again, we are not doing impromptu shows. We kind of doing either shows that are pre-agreed upon with invites and all, or collaborations and double streams. I am not having the chance to freestyle as much as I want to, and I will be when the red channel is good enough. Let's see, we have more. Who do we have more? Before I get some tissues, Ralph Neal, of course. Ralph Neal is in the building.
Psych!
All right.
Get my reps in, and I enjoy actually doing these impromptu shows. So let's have fun. Before we go to the topic, Strange.
Oh, and we got Andrew Wilson in the fucking chat, man. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you, man. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat on Project VOPod. Yeah, Andrew, he's been on a podcast tour, so he hasn't. I don't even think he's in his studio or anything like that. Andrew's probably. I know he was on Pearl Davis the other day, which was an interesting exchange. But yeah, Andrew, quite a bit of things have been happening since you've been on the Andrew Wilson tour, man. But me and Fatty and I kind of got into it. I said some naughty words on a stream that shouldn't be uttered by that kind of upset individuals. So Fatty here is going to explain his kind of feelings. So this exchange happened last night. So it was a pretty good one. But good to see you in the chat, Andrew. Good to see you in the chat, bro.
The end game, we say goodbye to Mr. Jake. We say goodbye to Mr. Jake. We're
goodbye,
going to
Mr.
have
Jake.
A special edition of a Rage in the Cage show. Okay. We say goodbye to Jake. I'm not into canceling people, but I'm not comfortable with having Jake around. There's the honest to God reality. Okay. Not asking for people to cancel him. I'm not trying to say people to go ahead and mobilize. Nope. I'm just saying I don't feel comfortable around Jake. And I will talk even with the KKK, with the white supremacists. I will talk with them.
Now, he'll talk to the white supremacists, the KKK, in that exchange that I had with Fatty, he's like, Jake, I think you're a racist. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. You think I'm a racist. Now, by the way, right now I'm wearing a shirt of Barack Obama. Right here, Barack Obama. Am I racist? I'm wearing a Barack Obama t-shirt, baby. All right? The greatest black president in history. And hopefully the only one. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm rocking my Barack Obama t-shirt right here, all right? If I was a racist, I wouldn't be doing that. But hey, you got to say goodbye to Mr. Jake. It is what it is.
I don't have no problem with it. I just think that I always treated Jake as a friend of the show. And what I saw on the show, in my opinion, was not conductive to...
Wasn't very friendly.
It was not conductive to somebody that I can sustain a relationship with, right? And the same way Jake has his boundaries, I have mine. And I thought about it. I could ignore it, but I won't, okay? Having Jake over here is great for business.
Damn right.
Great for business, because Jake is a very polarizing person. Having Jake here, I will say, very good for business, because Jake will set a room on fire, and I will let y'all do whatever you need to do. But the reality is, once again, if I was here for money,
I'll respect Fatty for saying that. Jake's good for business, because every time I've been on Fatty's panel, I swear, I have to debate every single person on the panel. At times, including Fatty. Every single person on his fucking panel is going after me. So, I mean, I get it. Yes, I light the room on fire because everybody's fucking sucking each other off and agreeing with each other. And I'm the only one that's being disagreeable. I'm like, no, that's fucking dumb. So then I have to fucking debate everybody on there. At times, I even have to debate my own debate partner on some of these panels, like I did with Raging Tomato. But I get it. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you know, I think a lot of these individuals have soft positions. You know, it's just my take here.
Was here to get $1 bajillion, I would let everybody fight and I would just step back. I'm not the type of person. So
yeah, exactly,
I don't feel comfortable about it, right? So I'm going to play a couple of videos so you guys can understand what's going on. And then later today, me and Jake is going to have a debate about the N-word. It's going to be the last time.
Yes, please pump up those likes.
But I'm going to give him the chance to explain himself and to actually question the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. So later today, Rage in the Cage. No time limit, no 3 moderators, no gimmicks, no...
I believe the only reason he doesn't want you anymore because you are an... yeah, groups are bigots. Dude, okay. Like, yeah, angry... bro, Angel, you were on there during the live stream. You saw Fatty's, like, argumentations, bro. It was his fragile ego, his black fragile ego. I'm sorry to say this, but yeah, that word, which was my point, really brings in an entirely different personality. You know, I think it's the single mom personality in black people, man. I'm sorry to say that, but it is what it is. And yeah, dude, I mean, yeah, he's not going to work with me. It's fine. Not a big deal. I love being on Fatty's panel. I loved interacting with his chat, although his chat didn't really like me too much. But I will tell you this, every time I went on a debate with on Fatty's channel, his chat actually crowned me the winner of those debates. So just FYI on that. I don't think as far as his audience goes, I don't think they're crazy lunatic liberals. I think some of them are, and the ones that are outspoken will talk shit to me. But at the end of the day, it was it's definitely a fun experience being on Fatty's channel, bro. It is what it is.
Shadow round, we're just going to get straight to business, 7:30, and we're going to make sure that we do what we do. So let me play a couple of clips, and then we go from there.
The word. I've stated this already plenty of fucking times. You can the word. I've stated this already plenty of fucking times. You can replace the word nigger with porch monkey, whatever. They're still going to be fucking upset. They're still going to want to attack you. They're still going to fucking turn into savages when they hear a word.
Where's the lie?
The fact that one little word that hurts their feelings allows these black people to become irrational
These black people.
monkeys. I'm just gonna say it, irrational monkeys. Banging the table, going crazy. That's the problem here, is that blacks in America.
So we have one. I didn't saw the full video, so I went back and watched the full video to make sure I'm not committing a mistake. Good morning, Jim out. And on the first part, it kind of looked like I maybe overreacted, but then I watched the full video and I don't think I'm overreacting. Right, let's keep going.
Black people that attack other races for saying a little word that hurts their feelings. You use this little fucking N-word, and by the way, it's not even about the word. From what I've noticed, you can replace the N-word with gorilla,
I think that's the same
with
clip.
monkey,
Oh, no,
with
it's not.
other things, and they're still going to act like savages and attack you. This is a conversation that nobody's talking about, and it should be. We should shoot towards that conversation more so than white people saying the N-word and you're despicable and you're evil. When we have black people attacking time and time again for a word, from what I've noticed, you can replace the N-word with gorilla, with monkey, with other things, and they're still going to act like savages and attack you. This is a conversation that nobody's talking about, and it should be. We should shoot towards that. Before we get into the reaction,
This is a good one.
Any offense on it, but when you say your people, like here in the West, where you have a bunch of rioting on the streets, causing billions of dollars of worth of damage to property.
Now, FYI, this was like a super old clip, way before I even got an audience. So this is like an audience of like nobody watching, etc. But yeah, I dropped some M-bombs on that one as well. But yeah, this is an old one. But honestly, I still stand by this opinion. BLM riots that you apparently love, those are a bunch of that are rioting. That's just the truth. It's the same thing with these Mexicans that are coming over the border. They're a bunch of they're a bunch of okay.
You don't have to be racist about it.
I don't have to, dude. No, it's not about racism. It's called freedom of speech. Okay. If just because I say the word and then when black people use it, it's not racist. Nobody's offended. Nobody's offended. But when I use it, all of a sudden you want to say something about it.
I never said anything about BLM, and you've never once you can quote me.
Well, that was the topic right here in this clip.
Did I defend BLM? Did I say I love BLM? Did I say I support BLM?
I didn't ask if you did.
You said you loved BLM.
I did not say that you loved it. I said that there's a misconception that OJ believed that you supported BLM, and I said no.
Come on, that's funny. Yeah.
Believe it.
I've got to go. Actually, it's I gotta go.
This was Palpatine right here. So he's showing off the clips.
No, it was fun. Thanks for having me on, boys. As always.
Absolutely, Palpatine.
Good, good times.
Oh yeah, bro.
Knickers. There you go. I said it. Take it easy, guys.
Hey guys.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
He's like speechless.
Yay. Free speech.
Yeah, I love free speech. Let's do it. Speaking of Palpatine.
Let's turn this
What's up,
shit
bro?
into a
You
call
made the clips, Palpatine. You actually made one of the clips, man. You're getting some airtime. Yeah, you are getting some airtime, bro. You made one of the clips that he brought up. So, by the way, he brings up these clips during the exchange that I had with him last night. So we broke it down. We went by it piece by piece. But of course, I don't think Fatty understood any of my argumentations on this, but it is what it is. You can go back and watch it.
Of teens. Free speech, yay! Because I can't say it. Free speech.
Yeah, I love it.
Kronos, good morning. Placido, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, guys, please smash the like button.
Leonard, how are you doing? 99.
I think that was his final reaction on that.
Yeah, later today we're going to have a conversation about this. Once again, Rage in a Cage, the N-word used. We're going to say goodbye to Mr. Jake. And tomorrow.
All right, there you guys have it. So that's what Fatty had to say. Oh shit, wrong button. That's what. Okay, yeah, there you go. That's what Fatty had to say before the debate occurred. He did bring out some clips. So I already knew, and I told Fatty, I'm like, dude, go ahead and fucking, whatever your questions are, bring it out, and we can, discuss this man to man. Fine with that. Totally fine with that. So we did have that exchange. It ended with, of course, Fatty kicking me off the panel. But we did go like 2 hours before he did that. It is what it is. And then I just had to stream the cope afterwards. So it was fun. It was a really fun one. It's a wild one. So I'd suggest you guys check it out, man. And yes, okay, entertainment. We're gonna get to the Dark Brandon right now. I got you. All right. But before we do, I am gonna be opening up the panel for anybody. Entertainment, if you wanna hop in, I'm gonna shoot out the link in the chat. I'm gonna pin it up for any questions that you guys might have or discussions. The panel's open. Palpatine, of course, you're always welcomed if you want to jump in. Anybody in the chat that wants to jump in and have a conversation. But I am going to be, I do want to kind of go over the Dark Brandon thing. But before that, I do want to, because maybe most of you don't even know who this folks. Dark Brandon guy is. And I'll share the screen here. So this is Dark Brandon. He did make a video. He gets a good amount of views. He has 187,000 subscribers, 172 videos. Seems like he makes a lot of vids here. He posted this one 2 days ago. It's gotten 19,000 views. So pretty good. Seems like he has a pretty good following. So yeah, so we're going to be reacting to his take on me. I don't know who Dark Brandon is. Never heard of him. I actually found this totally by accident when I was making the thumbnail for the fatty debate, and I just typed in my name on Google to see if like there's any like cutouts that I could do that I haven't already used, and this video showed up like right off the bat, and it was like posted that day, so that's when I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then I got to talk about this then. So he seems to be a pretty big creator, at least much bigger than me. So this is Dark Brandon.
Hey there.
If you guys don't know. So this is what Dark Brandon had to say. He didn't go over actually too much of the spicy shit. He kind of picked his way in one piece towards the end, and then he just calls me dumb the whole time, and that's basically his arguments, which is whatever. What's up, Mr. Fortress? Didn't watch the full ambush. Well, dude. Yeah, watch the thing. It wasn't. He didn't ambush me in any way. Bro. It was mostly one-on-one. He had one of his mods on there, and then I had OJ as my mod. There was a time where OJ got an exchange with his moderator, and a time where OJ got an exchange with Fatty as well. To where OJ was trying to explain my argument, but Fatty, of course, just still didn't really fully understand, right? All right. Okay, yeah. Man, dude, this guy's really excited for Dark Brandon. I guess he's a big Dark Brandon fan, so that's probably why he's so excited for this, but whatever.
Hey there, folks. Hope you're doing well today. Today, I wanted to introduce you to the YouTuber and streamer Jake VARR. He's got a channel called Project VO Pod.
So far, he's telling the truth.
Responsible live streamer. He spent 4 hours, justifying why people should be using the N-word. Let's take a quick look at his intro where he solidifies his credibility in talking about how he's a Hispanic.
And we are live. Are you one of those white folks fighting back in this scenario? If so, I call BS. No, Chairman of the Board. I am one of those wetbacks that I have to come in and help you white folks from standing up for yourselves.
There's a lot of
rioting on the streets,
liberal white guilt people out there, man,
saying that you're racist. That's what I'm doing because you guys are too weak to do it yourselves, y'all crackers. All right.
So out of the gate, really strong, using racial derogatory terms towards, I don't know, Mexicans, white people. Well, again, communicating this general idea that white people are victims and making false claims that black people are rioting in the streets.
Okay. False claims. Bro, I guess the BLM riots were just a figment of his imagination or something. But okay, just they're not doing that, I guess.
It's just amazing YouTube allows this video to stay up with so many derogatory terms in just the first 15 seconds. But it doesn't take long before the racists even turn on him. It's great.
Chairman of the board, so which sort of Mexican are you?
I'm pretty sure he's not on drugs.
Which sort of Mexican am I? A Spaniard.
So he doesn't even finish reading the question, right? The chairman of the board asks, so which sort of Mexican are you? Cuban, Honduran, Chilean?
Yeah, so just to clarify that, usually a lot of white people tend to put Mexican under an entire umbrella. like Filipinos, etc. Anybody that speaks Spanish is just like, oh, they're just Mexicans, whatever. I've heard black people say this. I've heard white people say this. In generalities, that's what I was saying. Well, my blood comes from Spaniard. If you're talking about Spanish-speaking cultures, right? That's what I'm implying there. But of course, he's cutting it out of context. It is what it is.
And so this has to be a troll, right? So,
but it was a troll.
from
That is true. He did
Mexico
troll.
Are Mexican. People from Cuba are Cuban. People from Honduras are Honduran, and people from Chile are Chilean.
I guess. Well, like my lineage.
That's
is
true. You have
Mexico,
called me
but
a
it came from the
coconut.
Spaniards, etc. But yeah.
And that's like the best thing that you can like call me, because yes, I don't speak Spanish. And I've been called coconut by even other Hispanics around here. Oh, Jake, white boy, coconut, man. Brown on the outside, white on the inside. That's kind of like the correlation there of that, right? They're Mexicans of the sea. Yeah. So is what was that? Spam, right? Spam is it's the chicken of the sea.
So
kind of like that.
I guess if that answers your question,
So, yeah.
but I'm not any of those. That's for sure. Okay.
And then the amazing recovery where he laughs and says, but I'm not any of those, kind of uncomfortably. But it's so great to see racism backfire on the racists so quickly.
They're going back and forth here. No, it is about the blacks being sensitive. They're sensitive about the word. I've stated this already plenty of fucking times. You can replace the word nigger with porch monkey, whatever. There's still going to be
that clip went viral.
Upset.
Even Fatty,
still going to want to attack.
Fatty used that one too, and so is this guy.
Nigger with porch monkey, whatever. They're still going to be fucking upset. They're still going to want to attack you. They're still going to fucking turn into savages when they hear a word.
And so here we're seeing Jake display emotional immaturity.
So
the
immature.
N-word is one of the most emotionally and historically charged words of the
so
English
immature,
language.
emotionally
The
immature.
word's meaning is shaped by centuries of oppression, violence, and resistance. For him to deny this demonstrates he has no perspective, no empathy, and no emotional maturity.
The fact that one little word that hurts their feelings allows these black people to become irrational.
Really quick time. First off, I like Fatty, bro. Like I've criticized his debate skills, that I don't think he understands too much on argumentation. But what Fatty's building there, I can definitely support. He has a big channel, and there's a lot of people with opinions. That's good for business on my end, right? I like going on there and kind of tangling up with these individuals, because not all of them share the same opinion as me, right? So, I'm not going to sit here and say he's low IQ or anything like that. I think he's a smart businessman. He's definitely built up a channel, so I'll give him credit on that. But this is why it was kind of good for me to kind of interact with Fatty there, just to answer your question. What's up, Lawrence? Good to see you. Joseph, Jeremiah. Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, guys? Good to see you in the chat, man.
Monkeys. I'm just going to say it. Irrational monkeys. Banging the table, going crazy.
They are banging
That's
the table.
the problem here, is that blacks in America need to be more stoic.
And we are not creating this content to give this person a larger platform, but instead, there will be a moment in time of accountability. And these videos will prevent them from whitewashing their actions.
But yeah, we are going to talk about the dreaded N-word. And here's the thing. The N-word's dead. It's fucking dead. And who killed it was other black people. It was other black people. It was the race baiting, the constant race baiting of whites saying, you are racist.
I meant to say blacks,
you
actually.
criticize black people, you are racist. Therefore, we can shut down the conversation.
Yeah, I'm talking to you
part
about the
here where
cartoon.
it says
Yeah.
The N-word is dead. Incredible.
He doesn't show his face, bro.
Racism solved, everyone. All it took was a random dude in a podcast dungeon to declare it over.
Yes, sir.
Called the Nobel Committee.
I guess so.
And black people are not the only.
See how he has no real arguments? It's just him fucking just being sarcastic the whole time. He doesn't actually engage with any type of argumentation. This is what his videos do, is that he doesn't actually pile up any type of, debate or tactics back on why we're wrong with our worldviews here. And this is just what it is. Speaking of worldviews, we got angry fucking snowman in the fucking house. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Like the background, dude. Great background.
It's just my dungeon is all it is, man.
Yeah.
I get stuck on the front porch even in the wintertime.
Oh yeah.
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 It's one of them closed in front porches, man. I freeze my nutsack off out here in the winter.
Right on, dude. By the way, I think this is the first time you've ever been on Project Veal Pod. I haven't seen you here before.
No, I just started following you probably maybe a month or so ago because I saw you on Fatties and saw you debate.
Oh.
I mean, I've been watching, kind of. I've seen quite a few of your streams. I like to get the feel for people before I hop on panels anymore.
Right on. Fuck yeah.
I made that mistake of hopping on panels, 5-6 years ago, and when this whole panel verse first started, and that was a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know, dude. But yeah, good to have you on here. I think I've seen you before on. Have you ever been on Flow States?
Yeah, Flow's a dick.
Okay, I think I remember seeing you on Flow State, but you didn't have a face to the picture. It was just like a.
Usually, I think it was probably my Darth Vader avatar.
Yeah,
in the snow.
I think it was that. I think you also have a snowman avatar that I think I saw that. Okay, that's from what I remember because I remember your fucking name. That's why. Because I was
Everybody
like, angry
knows
snowman.
my name, dude. Everybody knows my name. I'm known in these panelverse streets.
Mm.
I've been around for a minute. But dude, that shit to me it was kind of wild what happened up there. And I really do. I'm with you. That's why I said what I said. I don't think Fatty fully understood, or could. I don't think he really. What you were trying to articulate, a lot of it went right over his head. I think.
Yeah. No, I think
I'm
so
not
too.
saying that to be, or to to be facetious or to call him out or say anything bad about him because I like Fatty too.
Yeah.
It was just weird to me. It almost seems to me like he was strong armed into having to do some kind, basically cut ties.
Right.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Like like he had the whole weight of his Discord and all of his followers. Like, look, dude, you're gonna have to. That's what it seems like to me, to be honest with you, because it's disappointing. It is because look, dude. The discussions and the debates that you guys have been having over there for the last 3 months now, since he decided to actually go corporate, as he calls it, have been, phenomenal. Especially the ones where it's, white and black panels.
Oh yeah.
Because he was having discussions no one else was having.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's why I said it almost seems like as soon as it seems like we're making a little headway as people. Trying to get past all this, all these narratives constantly being thrown at us.
Right.
Somebody gets in their feels and they don't want to follow all the way through. It's like they get scared to follow through.
Yeah.
It's almost like people are afraid to see if it'll actually work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. And you're right about that. I think I really enjoyed Fatty's, I think it's called Breaking Ground, right? Breaking Ground when he has the whites. Dude, that's a great fucking idea. It's a great show. I fucking love it. I was on the very first Breaking Ground, his debut of Breaking Ground. And it was good exchange. It was a really good exchange. And Fatty even asked me during that debate, well, Jake, you weren't so provocative like you were on, in these clips. I said, yeah, no shit. I did that for the respect of your channel, Fatty. All right. I can get these points across without using, I could use different language to get these points across. I could totally do that. Perfectly fine. However, when I'm on my fucking channel, I could use whatever fucking words that I want to fucking use. It's very simple.
Look, the bottom line is this. If we want to keep it 100%, keep it a buck, we all say shit to people that we feel comfortable saying shit to. That's what it boils down to. Yeah. None of us are going to go out to somebody, go to anybody that we don't know or don't have some kind of camaraderie with and come off with some off the wall crap, or slander and not expect there to be some kind of negative outcome from it of some sort. You know what I'm saying? That just isn't even logical. So most of us, like me, even I've had black friends most of my life, dude. You don't think that I don't use that word around them?
Do you? You
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly, man. But yet it's a word that we shouldn't ever say. But if you have the black card, they allow it. Okay, it's good. But my point is
black
that
card's only as good as the store you're in.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I mean, seriously, man. And let's be real. What are we talking about here? I mean, to me, it's like a lot. You claim to control culture. You claim to control the way that the music industry and entertainment goes, fashion, all this shit.
Yep.
And that word is riddled. I mean, it's literally stamped and pressed on everything you guys sell.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All their music, bro. All their music, their regular vocabulary, right? It's all that word.
Well, that and the other thing that a lot of folks aren't even paying attention to is we are finally getting to a point now in America where the younger generations that are coming up, they're predominantly mixed.
Yeah.
They aren't all white or all black. They're mixed with everything, dude. And they don't give a shit anymore about that crap. They think all of us that get, want to have arguments about that shit, they think we're all boomers.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah.
I mean, because look, how are you going to tell some kid that looks white but his dad's black that he can't say whatever the fuck he wants to say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean, bro.
I mean, it's time to let old dogs lie, man.
Yep. Well, and that's my point here is that, this word is only as strong as how people react to said word.
And look, let me say this too. It isn't, I don't think it is the fact that white people want to use the word. It's the fact that if it's so fucking offensive and egregious, don't use it at all. Anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yep.
How about you not use it? What makes you think that you have, I'm trying to figure out where we got to a point to where one group of people could be so special that they're allowed to use one word that no one else is allowed to use.
Yeah, for sure.
That's insanity to me.
Yep. I agree, man. And look, I'll even tell you this. Even other black people can acknowledge the difference between black people and the N-words, bro.
Absolutely.
And look, let me play you guys this clip. I hope I don't get copyrighted. It's just a very small clip. So I hope I don't get copyrighted. But this is what Chris Rock had to say back in 1996.
I got that drop, dude.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Yeah, but that's my point here. Even somebody like Chris Rock could acknowledge that, hey, the N-words are fucking things up for us, like good black folks, the stereotypes, etc. I'm just saying, and of course, my argumentation there, I even gave him a definition of what I meant by the ER, the hard ER, right?
That's one of them things that I think that went over his head is when you kept saying, what is your definition? Because I understood what you were saying because everybody has a different definition of what that word means to them. Everybody, regardless of what the dictionary says, we all personally have our own internal definition of what we think that means when we say it.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And that's why Fatty didn't want to give me his definition or something so that I can understand where he's coming from. He didn't want to do that, or at least he didn't understand how to do it. Instead, he wanted to Google it. He gave me a Google definition. And
look, dude, Fatty's a good-hearted dude for the most part. You know what I'm saying? He really is. But that shit is just, it was wild to me. It didn't make no sense.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. It was wild, dude. It is what it is, but Fatty doesn't want to work with me. That's fine. And he even admitted, hey, man, Jake's good for business because I am pretty polarizing, as he described. Because every time I get on there, dude, when we had these black and white panels, I had to debate every single person because he was getting white liberals.
Dude, you would get interrogated by people too, wouldn't you?
Hard, bro. Hard, dude.
Like, why are you even in this space to begin with? Why are you even talking to us about this shit? What is this any business of yours? Dude, I've been getting that shit for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, you know what? If I didn't go around and see a bunch of fucking black people on panels talking about nothing but white people and no white person to represent, I wouldn't be here.
Yep.
But somebody's got to be the voice of reason. How are you going to sit and talk about me and then not have me up here to represent me?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. And that's what I was, dude, here's the thing. I'm not even fucking white, by the way. I'm not white. I'm Hispanic.
Yeah, you are. You're a white Mexican.
I'm a white Mexican, I guess so, dude. But at the end of the day, look, my culture here, they'll speak Spanish, etc. But even with my culture, they can understand, like, you know what? We don't even want to live around black people neither, dude. And that was one of my points with Fatty because he wanted to blame poverty, right? Oh, black people are poor, and thus this is why we commit crimes. Well, I was like, well, dude, the second most poverty people here in the United States is Hispanics, and we don't even come close to the crime rates that you guys do. So how does that correlate? And he didn't want to.
Even the trailer parks, they have their issues. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see a bunch of poor white people in the trailer park spinning the block in the trailer park.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It just don't happen. And look, I've spent the last 10 years listening to people sit and like every time there's a school shooter or a mass shooter, I'm supposed to answer, or a cop that kills a black person. All of a sudden, since I'm the white dude on the panel, I got to answer for every ill or woe that the white dude has made. And all at the same time, while listening to people sit and turn criminals into martyrs and shit like that. And I'm over it at this point. I'm the black fatigue is a real thing, dude. Yep. I believe it is a real thing. I really do. And the thing is there's a lot of folks that don't like it. Look, like I said, I've been doing this for 5 going on 6 years now. All right. And I have literally sat and listened to a lot of people, even some of the same people that Fatty's got in his chat and on his panels, that have called me everything but a white man. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Exactly.
Like everything you could imagine and then some shit, but a white man.
Everything but a white man.
Dude, there was one night some black dude sat and told me that my child was nothing but a fucking demon from hell, and it was coming out of a demon's fucking diseased up vagina that came from hell.
Wow, dude. Okay, I've never heard the chat go that hard on me, but I've only been there a couple times.
Said it to me.
Oh, they said it to you, bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
This dude just went off, man. It was crazy, dude. I've heard crazy shit.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Yeah. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah. I've never heard that. But even if I did, it's like, whatever, like, that's just insane, but it's kind of hilarious, whatever. Like, it's funny to see them spurg out. And when I say them, I don't mean black people, just liberals in general. It's just hilarious to see liberals in general.
Weak-minded motherfuckers.
Weak-minded motherfuckers, yeah. Doesn't matter your skin color. It's just hilarious. But yeah, man, I totally understand where you're coming from on that. And I think there is a fatigue when it comes to this word and this victim culture mentality, similar to how they were making a bunch of Marvel movies and then they made so much of it that it's just like, okay, we're totally over it. Nobody really watches Marvel the same way as they did before when the movies were badass, you know? It's a fatigue. I get it. Understandable. We want something different. But yeah, you're totally right on that. Anyways, let's get back to the video here. By the way, Angry Snowman, this is a content creator by the name of, if you guys are barely joining us, content creator by the name of Dark Brandon has 100 and...
Do you remember if I've heard him, but his voice sounds familiar.
Does it? Okay. I've never heard of him before, but apparently he has a huge following. And yeah, dude, this guy's got a pretty big amount of followers, but somehow he found my video. I don't know how he found it. I have no idea.
Traffic.
The what?
Maybe he'll help you get some more traffic, man.
I mean, he did with this video. It got 20K views, so it is what it is. But yeah, I did email. Oh, by the way, just to kind of clarify for the audience here, he did comment on one of my videos talking shit. I did tell him, hey, I invited him onto the panel to have a conversation, whatever he wants to debate when it comes to this topic, whatever he wants. And I told him to email me. I have yet to get an email from this fuck. That was yesterday. He said, yeah, I'll do that. Never got an email. So Dark Brandon, if you're listening in, please email me so we could set up something during the week where you can come on and we can debate on this topic or whatever you want, right? I'm the MAGA guy. You're the fucking stupid liberal, and I'm happy to have exchange with you. So just a message to Dark Brandon about that. But yeah, let's move on with the video here. One's guilty of this. You know, the Jews tend to use this same tactic with, you're anti-Semitic. Oh shit, I don't want to be looked at as I hate Jews, so let's just shut down the conversation at that, right?
And of course, now Jews, because no racist rant is complete without dragging in every marginalized group in the mud, like a hate group.
Sounds like I'm pretty diverse.
They start with black people.
Sounds like I'm a pretty diverse racist.
Sounds to me like your mom told you if he's going to do something, do it all the way.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm just saying, talked about the Jews, talked about white people, talked about Mexicans, talked about blacks, right? It sounds like if I just hate everybody, then am I racist? I just hate the world at that point, right? I'm just the joker. I'm just the joker that hates everybody, you know? And most people like those people more so than somebody that just only targets one race. So at the end of the day, I'm fucking being diverse, bro. I'll criticize any race, does not fucking matter. I'll make fun of any race, doesn't fucking matter. But of course, it's funny Dark Brandon wants to call me that, oh, you know, this is about black people. But at the end of the day, he's putting up clips of me criticizing other people, you know?
is what it is.
He's criticizing someone for criticizing other people.
Yeah, exactly.
The irony.
Usually pivot to trans, and just when you think it couldn't get more 4chan, boom, anti-Semitism shows up fashionably late, like at RSVP'd. Hail yes. These guys treat being accused of anti-Semitism like it's the real crime, not the bigotry, not the dog whistles, not the centuries of blood-soaked history they're casually cosplaying. No, the real injustice is being called out for it. It's always the same tired playbook. Use the coded language, play dumb, and whine when being called anti-Semitic or racist.
When I say the N-word's dead, I'm using that as a kind of like a metaphor, right? To where now white people, to a degree, are fighting back. I mean, I look at the scenario, and we'll review it more thoroughly. But I look at this scenario where, you know, she called this little black boy a niglet, went viral for it, super viral for it, and she gets $500,000, right?
Then in this part where he says white people are fighting back from what? Accountability? That's not a rebellion. That's emotional CrossFit. You're not storming the beaches in Normandy. You're rage quitting empathy because someone told you to stop saying slurs in public.
These
guys
use
act
any
like
more dog
being
whistles?
called out for racism is worse than actually living through it. Like getting ratioed on Twitter is somehow equivalent to centuries of systematic oppression.
Chad Denver, you made that
viral
argument.
For racism isn't persecution. It's performance art for bigots. And the people defending her aren't freedom fighters. They're the Yelp reviewers of Jim Crow, loud, entitled, and utterly unaware of how ridiculous they sound. If this is what fighting back looks like, it's not a movement. It's a tantrum with ring lights.
How white people are is that they're sending a message to the blacks saying we're kind of tired of this crazy outrage culture that you guys are revolving around a word, right? Say the N word and automatically, and I've spoken to other black people, even on panels like Fatty, that have told me it's perfectly okay for a black person to attack a white person if they use the N word under any context.
And here, when he talks about being tired of the outrage culture, no, you're tired of consequences. You want to say the quiet part out loud, scream.
Yeah, I'm tired of black people attacking white people or any other race because of a word. Okay, we're tired of we're tired of them committing crimes and assault. Sure, I guess so. He doesn't actually bring up any real argumentation. I just want to get through the video, and then I'll continue the conversation with Angry Snowman here because that's just more interesting at this point.
In a megaphone, spray paint it on your truck, live stream it on Rumble, and still get invited to the brunch like you're not emotionally hoarding Confederate
Cookout, fool,
memorabilia.
cookout.
This isn't cancel culture. It's called feedback, and you're allergic to it.
I'm
You
allergic
want
to
all the
feedback.
freedom of speech with none of the social consequences. Like a drunk uncle demanding the mic at Thanksgiving and then crying when he's not invited back. Let's be honest. What you call outrage culture is usually just people saying, hey, that thing you said, it's racist. And
See how he's not actually engaging with my actual argument about not social stigma. It's about the physical crimes that are against white people because of a word or because they think you're racist. That's the point I'm making across. This guy's just talking about social stigma that I never even made an argument on.
Dog whistles, man. That's all he's doing. Listening to trigger words and dog whistles that mean absolutely nothing to nothing.
It means nothing. It means nothing, dude.
Response, full meltdown. Suddenly, you're a victim of a woke witch hunt because someone dared to ask you not to behave like a 4chan forum in khakis. This is not 1984. You're not a silenced truth teller. You're just pissed that the world stopped treating bigotry like a quirky personality trait. If you get backlash every time you open your mouth, maybe it's not society that's broken. Maybe it's your mouth.
Okay.
The mirror is not bullying you. It's just reflecting
The mouth is broken.
who you are.
Because it's freedom. Yeah, you could say the N word, but you're not freedom of consequences. Bullshit argument, right? This is kind of like their thought process when it comes to that word, you know.
And remember, the freedom of consequences has to do with physical harm. That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
freedom from consequences.
What's up?
Most men are okay with dealing with the consequences of their actions. I mean, let's keep it real. If you aren't, then you're a pussy.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
You're this guy up here that's trying to pander to a bunch of people that ain't listening to him anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point here, dude. Like, I'm fine with the social stigma. You guys can fucking make videos about me and tell your opinions about me. That's perfectly okay. However, you don't have any jurisdiction to have physical harm on me because of a word. That's a crime. That's called assault. That's my point here of what I'm making. But of course, he doesn't want to. He just wants to pander to his audience here that, oh, this guy's just a bad racist, I guess.
Consequences. Exactly.
An idiot.
That's not oppression. That's called being an adult in a functioning society. You can say whatever ignorant, unwashed thoughts pop into your head, but don't act shocked when people respond like you just took a dump on the dinner table and called it patriotism. Free speech means the government won't arrest you for being a bigot. It doesn't mean the rest of us have to nod politely while you cosplay as Andrew Jackson's fever dream. You're not being silenced, you're being judged, and rightfully so. Because when your idea of free thought is racial slurs in a podcast hoodie, society isn't going to throw you a parade. They're going to throw your career in a ditch behind a Waffle House.
I bet you
accountability isn't
fanny pack too, don't you?
What'd you say?
I said, I bet he keeps hot sauce in his fanny pack too.
I'm pretty sure he does. He's just like Hillary Clinton, right? he's got. Oh, by the way, what I love about black people the most is their hot sauce. Look, I have some right here in my fanny pack. Total pandering, just like Hillary Clinton, AOC, Kamala Harris. These Democrats do this shit all the fucking time, bro. And I think black people are tired of it. This is why we had an all-time high in black votes for Donald Trump, man. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, he's talking to the blacks, but they're not listening to him. You think that they're listening to him. He's literally critiquing people for another group of people that aren't even listening to him nor care what he has to say.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly.
Culture. It's the bill arriving after a long meal of loud opinions and bad faith. Then, buddy, you've been dining like the check wasn't coming. So, yes, say what you want. Just don't cry when the world hears it and replies, wow, that guy's a jackass. Because in your case, they're not wrong. So what did we learn today? Apparently, if you're racist, anti-Semitic, and historically illiterate and deeply insecure, you can find a webcam
so insecure.
And a
I'm
bunch
so
of
fucking
supporters
insecure.
and a few thousand followers desperate to cosplay as oppressed truth tellers. But here's the thing. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from judgment, and being called out isn't censorship, it's consequence. These folks aren't fighting back. They're flailing against a world that's finally telling them, no, you don't get to be vile and celebrated. They're not being silenced. They're being heard
while
clearly
being
for the
vile
first
and
time.
celebrated.
Yeah, exactly.
What
While
we
being
hear
vile
is
and being
ugly,
celebrated.
shallow, and intellectually bankrupt. If outrage over slurs is confusing to you, congratulations. You've mistaken your entitlement for oppression. And if you think being called a jackass is worse than being one, then I got news for you. It's not the culture that's broken, it's you.
I got news for you too, buddy. If you go out and constantly look for racism and oppression and some big scary boogeyman holding you down, don't be surprised if you actually find what you're looking for.
Yep, exactly, dude. Exactly, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, if that's all you got on your mind and all you got on your brain, and that's constantly what you know the goal you're trying to reach, eventually you're going to find it.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
100%. And by the way, really quick, super chat coming in. Nubto says, help this guy hit the goals. Jake is why you need to learn Spanish so you can confuse them when they call you a racist. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, bro. I really appreciate that. And I have set up a goal, man, just to kind of get a little bit of fucking grifting from you guys, because I feel like I've given you guys some good entertainment the past couple of days with Fatty and me going,
I think you could have did better.
How it is.
I think you could have did better.
Could have done better? I probably could.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. You dropped that M-bomb like a machine gun on his panel. Don't get me wrong. I was dying in the chat. Dude, the chat was losing their mind, dude.
I know.
I was just quietly dying on my end, dude. Just dying.
Yeah, and here's the thing, dude. The thing about that is that I wasn't even looking at the chat. I wasn't looking at Fatty's chat. Wasn't looking at my chat neither. I was busy focusing on what my points were with Fatty. So I didn't care about the chat, didn't care about any of that. But towards the end, I was looking at it, and the chat was roasting, or my chat anyways, was roasting Fatty. I didn't see his too much, but I'm sure they were going after me hard.
Yeah, they all wanted to basically, make you disappear.
Oh, shit. Okay, fuck. Holy shit. Not surprised.
Dude, you don't know how many comments were out there. This dude wouldn't be saying that shit if we were standing face to face.
Oh yeah, see, that's my point right there, bro. They're literally threatening violence on me. And that was
but
my
the thing is
entire
a lot of them wouldn't be saying the same shit they're saying if we were standing face to face either. I promise.
Yeah, exactly.
I promise.
Yep. But
You know,
yeah, I
there's
mean,
a lot of people on both. Honestly, there's a lot of people on both sides of this whole race art debate going on right now online that they're all just saying shit because they're sitting behind a keyboard and a damn teleprompter, basically.
Yeah.
You know, a camera. That's all it is, and they feel emboldened. And most of these fools won't even show their face. They only show their avatar.
Yeah, they only show their avatar, bro. That's 100% true. And I'll tell you this, dude, I show my face on camera for the world to see. Totally okay with that. I will put a face to my fucking words. Most of these fucking losers that come on panel and they fucking want to argue with me, etc. They don't even show their fucking face, dude. They can't even show their face. They're just a voice. They're a faceless avatar. That's all they are, you know?
NPCs, man.
NPCs. Exactly, dude. Exactly, man. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, man, fucking, you know, I think, I don't know what day I'm going to do it, just to kind of announce some stuff. I want to reach out to Glenn Lawrence because I do want to get a.
Have you ever been on Sharon Bracey's channel?
No, I've never heard of that channel.
It's called the Wildest Wake Up Show.
Never.
Is the name? The name of the channel is the Wildest Wake Up Show. You ought to check it out, dude.
Okay.
You'll love it over there.
Really?
Yeah, you absolutely will, dude.
The Wildest.
Because they will tell you worse shit than what you heard in Fatty's chat.
Oh shit. Okay. What's the name of the channel?
Wildest Wake Up Show.
Wildest Wake Up. Oh, here it is. Okay. Wildest Wake Up Show.
Sharon's a piece of shit, man.
Oh, is he? Hold on.
He really is.
Just to make sure I have this right.
Yep, that's it.
That's it? Okay.
Yep.
I'm definitely going to check that out then. Thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah, I think that me personally, from what I've gathered from you, you know, listening to you talk and watching a few of your streams and seeing you on a few, debate streams.
Yeah.
I think that you will be intrigued and want to engage with those folks with some of the rhetoric that they push out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely.
I really do. And see, that's honestly, that's what really needs to happen. This thing that's going on where people seem to think that it's offensive to even talk about the things and be honest about it. See, that's what really needs to happen is people need to sit back and really start being honest about some shit.
Yeah.
You know, and what's really going on. Okay. Because this crap of people thinking that, you know, that they got it worse off than anyone else in 2025 is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I 100%. Now I haven't seen these guys' panels, but I would assume. Wait, okay. Does this guy run panels similar to Fatty, or is he like
He's more of a black Hitler about it.
Oh shit, he's full on like black supremacist guy. Is what you're saying?
I wouldn't something that I don't know if he's black supremacist or not. I mean, I believe that me personally, I believe that he's full on, you know, black power. You know, but the thing is like. You just have to watch. It's hard to. He's very manipulative about how he runs things, especially specifically when he has opposition up on the panel.
Opposite. Oh, okay, gotcha.
You follow what I'm saying? He's very manipulative and very. He tries to weave very intricate webs of lies and deception, and that's why I don't like Sharon, because he's disingenuous. Moxie, he's very disingenuous. He's a hypocrite, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. I'm going to check out his stuff, and I'll definitely try to catch one of his open panels so I can get on there. Sounds like a guy that I definitely want to have an exchange with. I'll definitely want to have an exchange with this
Don't
dude.
you think it's interesting, too, that when, you know, quote unquote white folks, you know, just point out the obvious of what's going on and what's being seen, that we're being told that we're crying about shit and complaining and this, that, and the other just by pointing out the obvious?
Yeah.
You know,
that's very ironic. That's the thing.
You don't see me, you know, sitting and protesting the Congress grounds for, you know, a crime bill for white people. You know.
Yeah. By the way, what was your thoughts on the Carmelo Anthony Metcalf situation?
To be quite honest with you, I think it's unfortunate for both. To be quite honest, all right. It's to me, it's one of them things where both families lost. I think that I personally, I really don't see what was wrong with what the Metcalf boy did from what evidence has actually been given to us now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think that it's crazy that a child would, go straight to that after someone just touched you or pushed you even. And you know what's what I've actually thought about it and entertained the idea of, I got a theory.
Mm-hmm.
I've often been wondering if, since he did come from, a decent family, his parents that were wealthy, he grew up with both his mom and dad, he went to nice schools, lived in a nice neighborhood, but I guarantee you he's still, because from what I understand, they did move from a bad place to where they're at.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong,
Okay.
but from my understanding that, that's what happened. And part of me, I wonder if maybe he had friends that were part of, the quote unquote culture, the community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they weren't sitting and basically, giving him smoke and shit because his parents were wealthy and he went to a nice school and had all this shit and this, that, and the third. And if he didn't feel like he had to prove that he was, still part of the culture, and if this didn't have something to do with why he reacted the way he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't if it wasn't almost like peer pressure from his peers, because you ain't you ain't a real motherfucker. You ain't from these streets.
Yep. That could make sense. I did see a news report of a classmate of his, female, that she was interviewed, and she said, "Oh man, I'm shocked that Carmelo did this. I've known him for getting into fights, but for him to take a life is just another level." That was her quote. I'm paraphrasing it, by the way.
Right.
But that was
the other thing I see too is I do believe that the Anthony family really missed out on an opportunity to show the nation some kind of racial solidarity. When the Metcalf dad showed up at that press conference, that was a public press conference.
Yeah.
I personally think that if I was, the father of the kid that did it, I would have went and talked to that dad and let the camera see me do it.
Yeah.
Seriously, because the positive optics that would have gave America as a whole to see
would have been great.
The fathers come together and try and do something different, have a different outcome. Dude, that would have been one of the most amazing things for this country to see. And I think it was a missed opportunity.
That's actually, dude, I never thought of that, but you're 100% right on that. They kicked out the father in that press conference. It would have been a good moment for America as a whole to see them, shake hands or have an interaction. Not only that, Jeff Metcalf, the father, did state like, "Hey, I don't want to politicize any of this stuff. I leave it to God."
Right.
And he spoke about that. I thought that was great.
Dude, if you think when they had the protests afterwards, he was on the phone with that one dude that was part of the January 6th shit. And basically you heard him going off on that. Like, "I don't want you using my son's name and this, that, and the other for your political propaganda. That ain't what this is about."
Yeah.
And
he lost his son. That's totally understandable, bro. He lost his son. He doesn't want to have anything to do with politics. The Carmelo Anthony family, they embraced it. They embraced that division there.
I'll be honest with you. The wildest thing to me, though, was it wasn't that they raised funds to help get the kid a decent lawyer. See, that I don't have a problem with, because everybody deserves a lawyer.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is most people, the reason why they end up getting railroaded in court is because they don't have the money to get proper representation. They end up having to get a public defender who ain't going to do shit for them more times than not. Yeah. But I didn't have a problem with that. What I had a problem with is all the comments. Dude, when this shit first came off and you started seeing the comments on that Give, Send, Go of people that donated, and then anybody that had a comment or like a little short on, Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, dude, the egregious comments that people were making, they were so callous and just careless about life in general. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, how people were saying, basically he got what he deserved, and he should have, you motherfuckers, keep your hands to yourself.
Insane, dude.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And see that I was on panels, and the one thing that I kept questioning is, what are the kids that are watching this, that are on social media, that's their life? What are they getting from this? Seeing all of us adults, having these, arguments and can't come together or come to a common consensus on this. I mean, what are we teaching them when we're the adults and they're sitting there, watching just the egregious shit that's being said?
Yeah. Yeah, I get you, man. Palpatine, what's up, man?
I just wanted to hop on to talk about the whole thing. The problem is, I don't know how the family would have reacted to Jeff Metcalf showing up, whether this guy was there or not. But the family's press representative, not their lawyer, but Dominic Alexander.
The one that was talking, right? At the
Are you talking about the New Age Hotepi and Malcolm X?
Yes, Dominique Alexander. I've got a whole thing pulled up. Now, I didn't do this research. I'm reading some. I'm going to make a video about it tomorrow. But this guy, Dominic Alexander, he is a fucking garbage human being.
Oh, dude, he's got so many charges.
He is
charges.
He's a career criminal.
Yeah,
what?
He is.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. The guy that was speaking at the press conference is a criminal?
A career criminal, dude.
Criminal.
Career.
What?
Dude, there's like 30 mugshots of him online.
Fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? I did not know this.
And this dude clearly has an axe to grind with white people. Like, it's entirely possible that there may have been some solidarity if Dominic Alexander hadn't been involved.
Absolutely.
But
I agree. He instigated it. You're 100% right, Palpatine.
That's what I'm getting. Yes, I think that this guy is instigating a lot of this. He's the one who had Jeff Metcalf thrown out when he showed up.
Right.
Now, I guarantee that whenever the mob made the statement after Jeff Metcalf got thrown out of the press conference, like, I guarantee he put her up to it. Like, Dominic Alexander is a true, and I mean, people say grifter way too much. This guy's a true grifter.
No, he's a panderer, a Black Death is what he is.
Yes, this guy is a fucking demon. He is a demon in black skin on Earth, and he's
like Ben Crump and all these other ambulance chasing, black lawyers out here, because that's what I call them. They're basically ambulance chasers. They only show up when someone dies, and that way they can make money off of the death of somebody. All they do is promote death.
So really quick, Chuck in Tennessee says that he's been in prison twice.
Yep.
So 2 times?
Yeah, he's been in prison.
But he's been charged on multiple things.
On multiple things.
Oh yeah, he's been a criminal his entire life. Yeah.
And his name is Donovan Alexander.
Yeah, actually, one of the charges that he went to prison for was he beat the crap out of one of his girlfriend's kids. Caused severe head trauma or brain damage to one of her kids.
Mm-hmm.
I just put his name in the back chat.
Oh yeah, thank you. All right, go on, Snowman.
That's just one of the things I heard. That. Yeah, old boy's a fucking monster, dude. He's a monster. Like, and the fact that either the family didn't know about this whenever they allowed him to speak for them when his little political action group. I mean, it's not a pack, whatever the hell you want to call it. New generation, whatever. Like, I can't remember.
With a cult, that's what it is.
He's a minister, by the way.
Next Generation Action Network.
There it is.
I guarantee that, if they didn't know about this guy before he signed up with them, and if they did, in my opinion, if they did know who this guy was and they still let him represent the family, it makes the family look even worse.
By the way, this is his X account here? Do I have this right? Minister? Yep, he's a minister?
I don't know if he actually
Minister Dominic Alexander.
It says Minister of Justice, so I don't know if he's actually an ordained minister by any church. I think he's just full of shit. He's kind of he's calling himself a minister the same way that some shifty Christian ministers insist on being called doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of the same way. It's just you're not a doctor, motherfucker.
Here's the one I was telling you about. It says the activist was arrested in 2009 for causing serious head injuries to a 2-year-old child of his then girlfriend. The Dallas Observer reported, while Alexander initially claimed the baby fell off the couch when he was babysitting, an investigator said a doctor reported that the severity of the injury did not match with the cause. The injuries are acute and likely occurred around the time that his girlfriend's son started to have symptoms like being unresponsive without more adequate history of the trauma. Complainants' injuries are more consistent with abusive head trauma and child abuse. And then it says Alexander confessed to shaking and hitting the baby with an object. according to court records.
Wow, dude.
He was sentenced in 2016 to 5 years in prison for violating probation multiple times, but served only 8 days due to the probation counting towards his sentence.
Okay.
He was also indicted once on felony theft charges in 2013.
Yeah, he's
something.
Demon, dude.
By the way, Palpatine, you're gonna make that video. It's coming out what, tomorrow? On this guy?
I'm gonna make the video tomorrow. And again, I didn't do any of this research. I'm just basically reading and commentating an X thread that I read today.
Okay.
But
I've known about this for a while, man.
I mean, I knew that he had a criminal record because he said it in a.
I've been on some panels where we really dug in deep to what was going on. Like we even dug so deep that we found out that Caramello Anthony, he was on the track team, but he wasn't actually on the schedule to run that day.
So what was he doing there?
I would assume that he was there to support his team.
Well, yeah, like
you know what I'm saying, but he wasn't on the roster to actually run that day, but he was on the track team's roster for that year. But they don't have him in any races.
Like no active. Yeah, he wasn't active.
Right,
he wasn't active.
So, but he was on the roster for the football team. And see, that's the other thing that blew my mind is everybody kept saying that that he was 5'8" or 5'9" 130 pounds. Well, first they said 130 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Then they said 160 pounds. And then if you actually look at a picture of him and you put it side by side with the Metcalf kid, they were damn near the same size.
Oh, so they're lying about his size because I was
they were
hearing
literally
arguments
damn near
that
the same size. And dude, this guy was the captain of his football team. I believe they said he played strong safety was the position he played. So he spent his whole football career going up against nothing but big guys.
Yeah. No kidding. A strong safety? Yeah, he's a big, bulky kid then. Bulky, fast kid.
So, I mean, like I said, as far as that goes, to me, the whole situation with the boys were two kids being two kids doing dumb, reckless shit. And somebody took it a little too far. Do I think that he really meant to kill the other kid? Well, dude, I don't think he really intentionally meant to kill the other kid.
I think he regretted it afterwards, but a stab to the heart for a push or a shove or whatever it might have been.
And you got to think about that. The odds of him hitting that heart. You know what I'm saying?
I think he did it on purpose. Like, I don't think he it was premeditated in the sense that I'm going to go to this tent and stab somebody.
Sure. I think it just happened.
I think he pulled the knife out and said, I'm about to kill this guy.
But see, the other arguments that were being thrown around was that he was bullied and this, that, and the other. Well, if he was bullied, well, that there goes your self-defense claim because
that
now
would be
it's
premeditated. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, Angry, I used that same argument because Fatty had said, well, if he was bullied and this is a fact, and so let's take it as a fact. I said then it would be premeditated murder. Him knowing that he's getting bullied by these twins. Him knowing all these things, he went there purposely or could be purposely, and you can make an argument for premeditated murder.
Well, the one thing that Texas does have too that everybody wants to try and argue, but it's in the statute is it's an equal force in that self-defense.
Yeah,
that you have to use equal or lesser force when it's a self-defense situation. Someone, it's like I was explaining to him. If I go to a bar and I get into an argument with somebody at the pool table. He comes over and he shoves me, and I take my pool cue and I smack him upside the head with my pool cue, and now I kill him. Well, guess what? Now I'm going to jail for killing somebody.
Yeah.
And that's damn near the same scenario right there. Only difference is the weapon is different, but it's the same scenario. Some dude comes up, he aggresses on me, he pushes me. I go ahead and defend myself and hit him upside the head with a pool cue, and he dies. Now I'm going to jail, and everybody's going to go to jail for it. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are trying to sit and say that. Do I think the kid meant to do it? I don't. I think he got went way farther than what it got out of hand, way quicker than what he thought intended. All right. But he still has to be punished for what he did, because if we don't punish him, then what kind of message are we sending kids?
Yeah. What do you think the punishment should be?
Honestly, 20 years, a voluntary manslaughter charge. I think that even the Metcalf family would be all right with that, because I don't even think the Metcalf father wants that kid to be locked away for the rest of his life. I don't think he does.
47 years old, he'll be free.
Right. I mean, if you think about it, his life's already over now as it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He everything that he had going for him is now ruined, all because of that one mistake he made. You know, so
I think it's a pretty damn big mistake. Palpatine, like the thing is, he killed the guy, bro, and he bled out. That child suffered during those moments, and his brother had to look at that. There's a lot of things there. I don't know about 20 years. I'd probably say, honestly, like 30 or 40, 30 to 40 years, if I'm being nice.
Well,
I think he gets out at like 57.
The only reason why I say 20 years is because he is a minor technically. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, but there still has to be, you know, in my opinion, it has to be just cause. In 20 years from someone who's 17, he'll be 37, maybe 40 when he gets out. He's still, hopefully it reforms him and he can come out and be, you know, a member of society and not a detriment. You know what I'm saying? I know this much. I do believe that the longer people stay locked up and incarcerated, the less chance they have of being able to recidivize, but when they get back into the general population.
Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Palpatine, I got a question for you, but before that, Ghost sends a super chat. Show the what? Oh yeah, okay. Now I know what he's talking about. Okay, so real quick, I do have it. Do I have it on here? Oh, actually, I do. It's over here. Actually, my bad, guys. Hold on. Let me get to my playlist now. What Ghost is talking about here in this super chat was there was an individual, and maybe I can get y'all's thoughts on this. It's a quick short of a white guy getting deleted by getting deleted by a black man here. I'll get you all's thoughts on this really quick.
It was at this bus bench on Broadway and 6th where Tucson police say Jacob Couch was attacked by a man with a hatchet, and now his family is speaking out.
It was very traumatic and there was a lot of blood.
After spending around 10 months in Los Angeles, Kristen and Jacob Couch, a married couple of 11 years, were on their way back to their hometown in Alabama until the unthinkable happened.
I can't remember the last time there's just been a baseless, like a senseless crime like this.
As they were waiting for the next bus in Tucson, Kristen says an unknown man started yelling at them.
I told the man we're leaving, and my husband bent down to, I guess, like get our stuff, and he just came up behind him and just walked away.
A hit to the back of Jacob's neck with a hatchet.
Yeah. 10 a.m., broad daylight, downtown Tucson. Yeah. Didn't hear about it. And here's the guy, here's a picture, like him with his daughter, like nice, normal guy, him with his wife, who we just saw from. The guy eventually got caught, and here's a picture of the offender. The suspect told investigators he had been heavily drinking and thought Jacob was using drugs, so he said he struck Jacob after seeing him reach into his pocket.
I can't tell if that was a man or a woman.
Good morning.
That's crazy, dude. Struck him in the neck with a hatchet.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude. So this guy was heavily drinking. I think it took more than just alcohol to pull that off. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it has nothing to do with the N-word, by the way. But I am saying, like, one of my points during that debate with Fatty was the crime rate when it comes to the blacks is overwhelmingly overrepresented by black people.
1350 is a meme for a reason.
1350. Yeah, exactly. 1350. Yeah, 13%, 50% of the murders.
Yep. 50% of all violent crime.
No. It's 37% of all violent crime, 50% homicide, or 52% homicide.
Oh, fair enough. My bad.
Yeah, it's 52% homicide and 37% of all violent crimes, which, by the way, is still crazy. 13%, that, what? It's double and a half on just fucking violent crimes. And then it's what? Quadruple when it comes to fucking to the homicide rate. That's overrepresented in our society.
Well, also the other thing that's not talked about is white people getting off by cops is actually overrepresented too. There's way more white people getting off by cops than anyone else in this country.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you heard of the Edward Bronstein case out of California?
I haven't.
You ought to look it up sometime, dude. It literally happened 2 months before George Floyd. And it was the George Floyd thing. It was the George Floyd thing on steroids. Seriously.
Wait, hold on. What's the guy's name?
It's Andrew. It's either Edward or Andrew Bronstein.
Andrew Broad.
It is Edward. I just looked it up.
Edward? Okay, hold on.
Edward Bronstein, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I do, now that you say that, now that I see the pictures of it, yeah, I do remember this.
Dude, I live streamed the whole 13-minute video of that man dying.
Holy shit! What the hell?
Oh yeah,
dude, and it was the most horrible thing that me and my my listeners ever watched, and YouTube actually they took it down too. I'd imagine it's because somebody probably got me flagged because they didn't like me showing it, because the title of the actual title for the stream was The White George Floyd. Because look, dude, this happened 2 months before the George Floyd case, and this dude was actually held down by 6 cops and a nurse. And he was begging and pleading for them to get off of him, and you could hear the life leaving his body.
Yep, and even after they confirmed that he's dead, the body cam, you hear the cops making fun of him.
Yep, dude, it took them, it took them, what was it? I think it was like 8 minutes before they even checked the man for a pulse.
Yep.
Hold on, I'm trying to dude. There's a politician named this same name. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. Bronstein?
B-R-O-N.
Oh,
Bronstein.
B-R-O-N.
Yeah.
Oh, there
it is. Like Stein. Bronstein.
Yep. Bronstein. Okay.
Bronstein. B-R-O-N-S-T-E-I-N or I-E-N.
Okay. So this is okay. Then I got it right here.
There you go.
His name wrong.
He got pulled over for a DUI, dude. He complied with the cops. Well, I'll just let them tell you.
Okay, so this is the story that you guys. This is the legit story here.
Yeah.
The state of California will be paying a $24 million settlement to the family of a man who died in CHP custody.
It happened as officers tried to restrain a DUI suspect so a blood sample could be taken. KTLA 5's Alina Bobian live in downtown LA with more details. Alina, good morning.
Good morning, guys. That's right, $24 million. This is the second largest civil rights settlement of this kind to be awarded in this country. But the largest one, $27 million, it went to the family of George Floyd. And both of these stories, they are eerily very similar. Both of them, including 2 men who were held down by officers screaming out, "I can't breathe."
Wait, this happened in America, by the way, guys,
yeah,
right?
Dude, this happened literally 2 months before George Floyd happened in America, and they never reported on it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's so insane. I've never heard of this case here.
It got local news reporting, but
Of
national,
course.
it never hit. The national news never touched it.
Wow, dude. Okay, hold on.
I can't breathe. I'll do it willingly. I'll do it willingly.
Look, you can hear that he really can't breathe.
This incident was captured in this chilling 18-minute video. The man at the center of it, 38-year-old Edward Bernstein. His family and their attorneys will be speaking out today during a news conference coming up at 9:30 this morning here in downtown LA. This case goes back to March 31st of 2020. Bernstein died while being restrained by 6 California Highway Patrol officers. He was pulled over during a DUI stop, suspected of being under the influence while driving on the 5 freeway in Burbank.
He's not even alive.
Blew into a breathalyzer and tested under the legal limit.
Why she couldn't get a
However,
blood
he
draw
was then
from him.
taken to a nearby CHP parking lot in Altadena, where officers, through a warrant, attempted to draw his blood. Initially, Bernstein refused, then started to comply by yelling out, "I will do it willingly." During the 18-minute video, you see Bernstein restrained and held down by the officers. He is heard yelling, "I can't breathe," 14 times before dying.
Look, all of them are putting their weight on him too. All of them. Right on his back.
So was this guy on other drugs besides alcohol?
He wasn't, dude. He wasn't even drunk.
Yeah, he
So what
blew
was-
under the legal limit.
So how did he?
When the toxicology report came back, he was well under the legal limit.
Yeah, but was there any other drugs in his system?
No, none.
How did he die?
Asphyxiation, dude.
He was suffocated to death because he was held
Oh, so it was a
down.
legit choking. It was like they
They were holding him down. 6 cops were holding him down, and all of them were putting damn near their whole body weight on different parts of his fucking back, dude.
Yep, crushing his lungs and shit. Yeah.
Holy shit.
While there was a male nurse over top of all of them trying to get a blood draw.
So this is actually even a worse case than George Floyd, to be honest.
Yeah, because
way worse.
Afterwards, you could watch for like almost 12 minutes. They actually just defile the body. They completely. They're sitting there smacking a dead guy around, pretending like they're trying to get him to wake up and all that shit, dude. It's the most disgusting display I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, dude. I've never heard of this case at all, dude. By the way, this guy, which by the way, Chris, this guy's a hater from the Destiny crew. No tears shed. I don't know what he means by that. Should I be crying right now? I have no idea.
I hope Destiny gets hit by a truck after he gets struck by lightning.
Destiny's a pretty out there character, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Destiny deserves to catch a new kind of HIV that nobody else has.
There you go. There you go, Chris.
He's a disgusting fucking human being.
If he keeps going the way he's going, he probably will catch some.
Look, dude. There's a special place in hell for people like Destiny.
I agree.
There you go. All right, Chris. Go ahead. Do that as you will, man. That's not very Christian-like. Okay.
Joke's on you, Chris. I'm not a Christian. Ha!
Yeah, he's not. He's an atheist. He's an atheist.
Dude, this is wild shit. And what I found out about it, see, March 31st, 2020, when was Floyd? May 2020, 2 months later. And then, have you ever heard of Tony Timpa?
Is that the guy that was in the apartment complex?
No, this was a guy down in Texas. He had some kind of like brain problem.
Oh yeah, I
remember what it was, like schizophrenia or some shit like that. And what happened is he ended up getting a hold of some cocaine and did some cocaine. All right, and he started flipping out, so he called 911 wanting to get help. All right, and the cops ended up when the cops showed up, they did the same thing. They put the guy in handcuffs, and 2 cops sat on his fucking on the top of his shoulders, holding him down until he died.
Fuck. Okay, Tony Timpa.
Tony Timpa.
Timpa. Okay.
Timpa. Timpa.
Timpa. Okay. Timta.
And I can't remember the one guy's name. There's the one guy that got murked by cops in that fucking hotel. Where,
yes, that's the one that I remember. Yeah, where he was reaching into his shorts, right? And they lit him up like a Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because his pants was falling down, so he's trying to pull him up.
Yeah,
right in front of his fucking girlfriend and shit.
Okay, so this is the case right here that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Today,
out of Texas.
Day 2 of the civil trial against 4 Dallas officers being accused of killing 32-year-old Tony Timpa while in police custody. Yesterday, that civil trial began where the jurors, for the first time, were shown police body camera footage, some of which we are about to show you. And fair warning, you may find it hard to watch. Tony Timpa, according to the family's lawsuit, was in the midst of a mental health crisis when 7 years ago he called 911. During opening statements, jurors on Monday were shown the body camera video from the officers who responded to Timpa's call for help. Timpa told the dispatcher he was off his medication and had taken cocaine. In the coming days inside the federal courthouse, the defense will share how the jurors, how they believe it was the drugs, not the officers' actions that night that caused Timpa to die. The trial is expected to last more than a week, and we are on top of the Tony Timpa trial as it continues. We will update you daily and catch our coverage on air and online on CBS News Texas.
Chris, you're right. He is the wrong color for people to care. He's white.
Yeah, the only time people care if you're white is if you're killing a black person or you're committing a mass shooting, like at a concert in Vegas somewhere, or you're a kid doing a school shooting.
Yeah. By the way, what was the name of the guy that got hit in the hotel?
I forget his name.
I forgot his fucking name. But that one was crazy, bro. Like that was.
Did you ever see the one where that one white guy, the cops tried to issue a no-knock warrant in the middle of the night, and he comes to the door with a gun, and they just fucking waste him. And when he opens the door because he's got a gun in his hand, because there's a bunch of people beating on his door at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard that one.
Dude, like you can hear on the body cam footage whenever his girlfriend comes out behind him.
You know what I'm talking about, dude, because she loses a fucking noodle.
Yeah, she does. She panics, man. Because they shot this dude like 6 times, just like pow, pow, pow. Like they lit him up.
Damn, dude.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say any of the same shit that like black people would say in these situations.
No,
like, there's some war on whites. There's not. But for some reason, police.
Wait, hold on. That wasn't the Breonna Taylor situation. That sounds similar to that. It sounds similar to that.
The Breonna Taylor situation, they actually kicked her door in and shot her while she was coming out of her bedroom.
No, wasn't she? Oh no,
she was still laying in bed. It was her boyfriend that got shot.
It was the boyfriend that got shot. Yeah, it was the boyfriend that got shot. Yeah,
he survived.
He survived. Brianna passed. Yeah, I remember that one. Very similar. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, that one's a very similar case there because it sounds similar to that one. So that's what I was thinking.
I've been making the argument here lately with all this stuff, like with the Caramello Anthony thing going on, and it seems like people wanting to try and push some racial narrative. I've said, what do you think the reaction would be if white America actually stood up and rioted the same way Black America does after that Metcalf shit happened?
It would be a fucking chaos, bro. Like, no, that would be horrible if white people acted that way because there's more of them. There's more of them. So whatever percentage Black people did or with the riots, you add that on to a higher population of 70. I'm sorry.
I think we're just above
70%
now.
Yes, I think it's like 65, 70% white country. If you take a percentage of that, that's going to be a harsher reality if white people did that shit. It would be worse. So, no, I'm glad white people don't react that same way. It would be fucking...
Dude, it'd be a mess. And nobody would like it. Nobody would like it at all. That's why I don't understand why it seems like people are trying to push some kind of race war or something in this country, because it's not going to end well for anybody, really. And the people that are trying to push a war in this country obviously don't know what war is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know what it's like to see people just dying in their backyard. They really don't understand what they're asking for.
Yep. Yeah. That's definitely insane, man. That's definitely insane. But yeah, anyways, guys, so I'm glad, by the way, Angry Snowman, thank you for fucking showing up, dude. I'm going to have 12 more minutes because I usually do a 2-hour show. I do have to go and see my mom, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, embrace her while she's still around because you'll miss her when she's gone. I promise.
Definitely. And I'll tell you this, guys. I don't want to fucking say personal business here, but I will tell you, my mom is in the hospital at the moment. She's had issues. It is what it is. She's a strong woman. She'll recover. But with the situation right now, might be a little bit of a lifestyle change for my father because my father's the one that takes care of her. So I definitely am going to make the initiative to go and see her in the hospital for Mother's Day. So I got to do that. But I did want to do this stream before I do this, go over there for you guys to kind of address the Fatty situation and address the Dark Brandon situation as well. So I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Prayers to your mom. Dude, thank you so much, Chris. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I got to get going already, man. Angry Snowman, I'll give you guys some last thoughts.
Dude, my email in the back. That way you get a hold of me. If you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, please do, bro. Put the email in the private chat, and I'm going to save that. So that way.
But other than that, the only thing I got to say is, I'm here for the crash out either way it goes on either side. Seriously, I think that it's great that people are actually starting to step up and speak out because that's what needs to happen. There's been for far too long people have been sitting back and letting people just run roughshod over them in this country on one side or the other. And it's time for men to start standing up and being men again and saying, nah, we ain't having this shit. We ain't having you destroy our neighborhoods. We ain't having you attack our kids. We ain't having you attack our women. Either you're going to do shit right or you're going to be, breaking big rocks into little rocks.
Yep.
I mean, it's that simple. It's time for people to speak up on what's right and stop letting this shit go on. That's my final words.
Right on, man. Palpatine, go ahead.
I pretty much want to second every word of that, but then also tell you that if people are making hit pieces about you, that's like, it reminds me, they asked Kurt Cobain how he felt about It Smells Like Nirvana, and he said that if Weird Al is parroting your songs, that means that you're making it.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. I appreciate that. That's for sure.
Hey, dude, it's free advertisement.
Yep. If YouTubers are making hit pieces about you, that means you're climbing that ladder.
Well, I guess that's a good thing, and definitely with the Destiny situation, I think that helped a lot to bring some attention to my name. So I'm glad I took that leap. So that definitely helped, and of course with this whole racial, this whole racial situation that I had with Fatty, I think that that's something to where I can get out my opinions a little bit. Now, again, guys,
I really hope this blows over, man, because like I said, me personally,
I hope so too.
The whole Fatty situation disappoints me because I saw the positive growth in his channel since he was getting away from all that fuck shit and all the drama.
Yeah.
And actually doing something that you could literally make money off of.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He would. I hope I hope that. I hope this isn't him being strong armed into doing this. He's being held hostage on his own platform.
Could be the case.
Sure.
Could be the case. But hopefully Fatty reaches out and we can have another, back and forth with him and I. So we'll see. Actually, guys, go and follow Palpatine. Actually, follow him on Rumble because Palpatine doesn't like YouTube too much.
Well, I mean, do everywhere, but YouTube.
Everywhere,
I upload on YouTube and Rumble. The same videos go up on both platforms, except my podcast. My co-host and I get spicy, so I have to edit the podcast before I put it up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I stream on Rumble.
Yeah, he streams on Rumble. He does his clips over there on YouTube. So I do watch his clips over there on YouTube. But he does do. Your home base is Rumble, right, Palpatine?
Yeah, if you go to my X account, that Rumble is the main link. Yeah, but follow me everywhere.
Follow him everywhere. It's right there. Angry
stalkerish, man.
Do you have any? Do you have a channel, bro? Angry Snowman?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. Angry Snowman, Roman numeral 2.
Hold on, let me fucking get.
And then me and a few other guys, we're actually getting ready to start doing a podcast. Me and 2 white guys and a black guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know for sure what they decided they wanted to call it. I told them we should call it the 3 Ks and the J. You like that, don't you, Palpatine?
It's funny, yeah.
That is funny. I like that one, man. By the way, I'm gonna put your link. I found you, so I'm gonna put his link here. And yes, we will be doing the Crucible raid. Wait, Crucible raid. Ghost, what do you mean by the raid? Oh yeah, I'm gonna raid the Crucible. Trust me, we're gonna go to the Crucible after this, guys. But go ahead and follow Angry Snowman. I just put his link there in the chat. We got Palpatine. Let me get yours too. Woot. Hold on, really quick. Bro, yours is like so fucking long to find. It's your name, right? Go for Papa Palpatine.
Yeah. But it's the zero, the O and go is a 0, and then the final E in Palpatine is a 3.
3, got it.
And it's all one word.
So
Post put it up in the chat. So
Palpatine, how old were you when you realized that the Jedi were actually the villains and it was the Empire that was actually the heroes?
Probably my mid-20s. Probably.
By the way, I've heard that I haven't heard the actual argument about that because I've noticed that a lot of you right-wingers are saying that the Empire are the actual good guys. I've never heard an argument on it.
Now, it's a meme. It's a meme. Like, the Jedi were not perfect. They fucked a lot of things up. The Republic was completely corrupt.
The Jedi were basically they kidnapped kids, dude.
No,
but the Empire was, weren't they like enslaving planets and shit like that? Like,
they were.
They were doing a Thanos snap, dude. They were cleansing things so we could live in harmony.
Dude, that's okay. We need to make a debate on that shit because I don't know how you're gonna back up the Empire's actions. Yeah, I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but
I'm gonna have to take the I can criticize the Republic and the Jedi Order, but like memes aside, obviously the Empire were the bad guys.
I don't think so, dude. I look at it as the same thing as the Peter Pan thing, where Peter Pan was the villain and Hook was actually the hero. The Jedi and Peter Pan were literally going around and snatching up kids.
That's not exactly.
And that's what I see it. They were trafficking kids, man.
Holy shit! All right, man.
We're gonna have to work this out another time so we can go see his mom.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, my theory holds water.
Okay, all right. Well, we're definitely we got to do one of those nerd streams so that I can bring you on, Angry Snowman. I got your email, by the way, saved.
Right on.
So I'll definitely send you an email.
Right on.
Just expect it from projectvopod@gmail.com, so you'll know it's me.
Right on, man.
Anyways, guys, with that being said, their links are over there in the chat. Go over there and follow them really quickly. And I am going to send the raid over to Andrew Wilson, and we'll see what he's up to. With that being said, ladies and gents, have a good what's today? Sunday?
It's
have
Sunday.
A good Sunday afternoon. God bless.